What's the rumpus, everybody? I am Ian, and today we will be talking about 5 tips to making solid B-roll for your cinematic footage. Welcome back, guys. So nice to see all of your lovely smiling faces there on YouTube. Like I said, today we're going to be talking about 5 tips to making solid B-roll for your cinematic footage. Tip number 1, guys, is to know your story. Know what you are talking about and where you are going. If you don't know what you're going to talk about in your story or what your story is as a whole, then when you go out and shoot your B-roll, there's gonna be a lot of random footage and it's not really gonna make sense even to you because even you don't know, so it needs to make sense. Tip number 2, guys, is that your B-roll is supposed to amplify and exemplify your story. I can't be talking about doing a setup for a video and then show some footage of my dog chasing a fly. That's not gonna work. No, I'm gonna wanna show just a time lapse of me setting up everything. It doesn't have to be the whole thing. It doesn't even have to be slow enough for people to understand what I'm doing with every little detail. And guess what? I'm talking about setting up my gear. That's all that matters. That's it. My B-roll then at that point amplifies what I'm talking about and exemplifies as an example and just pronounces what I'm talking about and the story. Tip 3, guys, is even though knowing what shots you want to get helps, sometimes just knowing the tone or the genre or the feel or the emotion that you want to draw can help as well. So if you find yourself unable to really conceptualize the shots that you want, that's fine. Everyone's a little different. Let it go. Play it out. Don't force something because then it might end up looking bad and it won't be you and you're going to be disappointed. Try to feel what it is that you want to feel in your video. But if you know certain aspects before you even shoot your B-roll, it will help you to narrow down what is going to be usable and not usable. And it all, once again, boils down to story. Figure out what tone of the story that you want so that you can go get the shots that you need. Tip number 4, guys, is manual focus. Manual focus is a freaking beast. Going in and out of focus all day long with these great cinematic shots just looks professional. And the reason it looks professional, especially on B-roll, is because it's very similar to what our eyeballs naturally do as people. And at the end of the day, viewers are going to be naturally drawn to something that isn't jarring, something that doesn't just off-put. Turn the focus to manual. Play around with your focus ring. Play around with all of your settings in terms of focus and focal length, and just move the camera physically to get that raw look, that natural look in your B-roll. And I promise you, your footage will look great because it's real. Tip number 5, guys, slow motion. Okay, we get it. Slow motion is awesome. That 4K buttery goodness of slow motion just makes it just so nice. I get it, but dial it back. Dial it way back. There's a reason why YouTubers like Painter McKinnon have just blown up so quickly. With him specifically, there are many reasons, but his B-roll sequences, we all love watching them, but it's because he varies the pace. The song changes the pace. The story changes the pace. Don't have every single B-roll sequence look the exact same because of your slow motion. Even if everything else, even if you did all four of the other tips, if you overuse your slow motion, it's gonna look a little weird. Like, look for that spot of when to not use the slow motion. Look for that spot to ramp it back up. Look for that spot to just hard cut into normal rate of speed of how you shot. Like, actually look for it, because you know you've already trained yourself to look for all the slow motion spots. It's great. You don't need practice on that anymore. Practice for your regular time. And I feel like I was getting just a little bit off pace again. So with that, hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see all of you on the next video. Just making it just buttery and juicy and fantastic to watch. Just prolific goodness that is cinematic footage. That is the B-roll that grabs everyone's attention. And I'm just going a little off topic here, so I'm gonna reel it back.